What if you met the love of your life tonight, but had less than a year together? Would you still choose love? This is the story of Mia and Henry. And I promise you by the end, you'll never take a single moment for granted again. But first, drop in the comments if you believe some people are meant to find each other, no matter what. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button. Now, let's dive into the story. The club was packed, bodies moving, lights flashing, music pounding through the speakers. Mia was there with her friends, dancing away the stress of another crazy week. Her curly hair caught the neon lights like fire, her fair skin glowing under the strobes. She didn't know her life was about to change forever. Exhausted, she made her way to the bar. "One mojito, please." 2 stools away sat Henry, tall, handsome, lost in thought. But then he saw her reflection in the mirror behind the bar. Their eyes locked, just for a second. But that second, it changed everything. Have you ever locked eyes with a stranger and felt electricity? Comment below if you have. Mia's heart raced. She fumbled with her phone, pretending to be busy, but she could feel him, like standing near a fire. You don't need to look to know it's there. Minutes felt like hours. Finally, Henry gathered every ounce of courage he had. "Hi," he said softly. "I'm Henry." Her smile gave her away. "Hi, I'm Mia. Can I sit here?" "Yeah, sure." They talked about everything, their favorite songs, the terrible lighting, how the city looked at night. It felt like they'd known each other forever. But then Mia's friends appeared, ready to leave. "I have to go," she said, and you could hear the disappointment in her voice. Henry watched her disappear into the crowd, wondering if he'd just let fate slip through his fingers. 3 weeks later, Mia was walking through the neighborhood park, headphones in, lost in her music. The golden sunset painted everything like a movie scene. And then, she saw him. Henry, standing under the old oak tree like he was waiting for her. She stumbled and pulled out her earbuds. "Hi," she breathed. "Hi," he smiled. The kind of smile that lights up everything around it. They sat on a worn park bench and talked like no time had passed. Dreams, fears, childhood memories, the future they hoped for. "I can't believe we ran into each other again," Henry said, shaking his head. Mia looked at him with those beautiful brown eyes. Maybe it wasn't an accident. They exchanged numbers as stars appeared in the darkening sky. Both of them knew this was just the beginning. Do you believe in fate? Or is everything just random chance? Let me know in the comments. Good morning texts turned into 3-hour phone calls. Coffee dates turned into losing track of time. Movie nights turned into stealing glances at each other instead of watching the screen. They were falling, fast, hard, completely. By February, Henry knew what he had to do. Mia loved the ocean. She talked about it like it was poetry, like the waves understood something the rest of the world didn't. So, for Valentine's Day, he planned something she'd never forget. An oceanfront restaurant with a balcony overlooking endless blue water, the sound of waves below, stars above, and fireworks secretly arranged. "Mia," Henry began, hands trembling, "6 months ago I was just a guy alone at a bar. You changed everything." He dropped to one knee. The fireworks exploded behind them, lighting up the night sky. "Will you marry me?" Through tears of pure joy, she whispered, "Yes." 1,000 times, yes. The ring sparkled, but not as bright as the love in her eyes. What's the most romantic proposal you've ever heard? Drop it below in the comments. They were living in a dream. Beach vacations where Mia splashed in the waves, while Henry watched like she was the only person in the world. Mountain retreats where he hiked while she sketched and waited with hot chocolate. Every morning was an adventure. Every evening, a conversation. Every night, deeper love. They talked about future kids, a house with a front porch, growing old together, holding hands through every season of life. "I never knew love could feel like this," Mia said one evening, watching the sunset from their balcony. "Like what?" Henry asked. "Like coming home to yourself." But sometimes, life has other plans, and those plans, they're about to break your heart. It happened on a Tuesday morning. Mia was making breakfast when the room started spinning. "Henry," she called out just before her knees gave out and everything went black. The ambulance, the sirens, Henry's panicked voice begging her to stay with him. The hospital smelled like fear wrapped in antiseptic, test after test, hour after hour. Henry paced the waiting room like a man losing his mind. Finally, Dr. Martinez called him in. The doctor's gentle eyes told the story before his mouth opened. "I'm sorry, Henry. Mia has a rare neurological condition. It's incurable. We can slow it down, but we can't stop it." The world tilted sideways. "How long?" Henry whispered. "With treatment, maybe a year, maybe 2 if we're lucky." Henry's heart didn't just break, it shattered into a million pieces. Telling Mia was the hardest thing Henry ever had to do. He held her hands, looked into those eyes that had captivated him from day one, and watched her entire world collapse with his words. She cried, deep, soul-crushing sobs. She wiped her tears, looked at the report, and pulled him close. "We're going to be okay," she whispered. "I love you," they said at the same time, tears mixing as they held each other like the world was ending. Henry became her devoted caretaker. He took her to every beach he could, planned picnics in flower fields, danced with her in their living room to songs only they could hear. But Mia saw through his brave face. She'd wake at 3 a.m. and find him sitting beside her bed, holding her hand, tears streaming down his face in the dark. Her heart ached knowing she was the cause of his pain. So she'd slip to the bathroom to cry alone, muffling her sobs with a towel. During the day, while Henry was at work, Mia wrote in her journal, pouring out her love and her fears. "My dearest Henry, I see the way you look at me when you think I'm not watching. The way you're memorizing my face, like you're afraid you'll forget. I wish I could take away your pain." As their anniversary approached, Mia had grown weaker, thinner, more fragile. But her love, still blazing bright. One night in bed, she turned to him with tears in her eyes. "Henry, I might not be here next year for our anniversary. This year, can we celebrate like it's our last?" He wanted to scream no, but the words stuck in his throat. Instead, he kissed her forehead. "We'll make it perfect." The beach at sunset transformed into magic, a glowing tent, fairy lights, candles flickering in the ocean breeze. When Mia saw it, she gasped and threw her arms around him. "I love you," she cried as the waves whispered their eternal song. They spent the whole night talking, sharing memories, making promises. For a few precious hours, time felt endless again. If you knew you only had limited time with someone you love, what would you do? Comment below. I really want to know. Autumn came and Mia grew weaker, but her spirit unbreakable. "Henry," she said one evening, "promise me something. When I'm gone, be happy, get married, have the kids we dreamed about." "No," he said, firm. "I'm happy now with you. I want to marry you." She hesitated, but seeing the love in his eyes, she couldn't deny him. Their wedding was small, but perfect. Mia wore a simple white dress that made her look like an angel. Henry couldn't stop the tears as she walked down the aisle. They danced to "At Last" by Etta James, swaying slowly as everyone cried. That night, under the stars, they talked about everything they were grateful for. "No regrets?" Henry asked. "Only that we didn't have longer," Mia whispered. "But I'd rather have 6 months of this love than a lifetime of anything else." If this story's making you emotional, hit that like button. Sometimes a story needs to break us open, so we can feel again. Their last vacation was bittersweet, a week by the ocean. Mia could barely walk on the sand, but insisted on feeling the waves one last time. Henry carried her when she was too tired, held her when the pain was too much, loved her when words weren't enough. When they returned home, it happened fast. The doctor said, days, maybe a week. The hospital room became a sanctuary. In the quiet moments, it was just Henry and Mia, hands intertwined, hearts in rhythm. "How are you feeling?" she whispered. "Like the luckiest man alive," he said. "I'm sorry I have to leave you," she breathed. "Don't apologize. for being the best thing that ever happened to me. I promise I'll find you again, Henry said softly. In the next life. I promise too, she whispered. She passed away on a Wednesday morning, as the sun was rising. Henry was holding her hand, telling her about the places they'd visit together in the next life. And then, her breathing stopped. The silence that followed was deafening. Henry's sobs echoed through the corridors, his heart completely shattered. The funeral was beautiful white flowers everywhere, photos of Mia's radiant smile. Henry spoke about their love, how she taught him that some people change you forever. Do you think love continues after death? Does love transcend time itself? Share your thoughts below. Weeks later, Henry found her journal. Inside, page after page of love letters. My darling Henry, if you're reading this, it means I'm gone. But my love for you isn't. Please don't spend your life mourning me. Live it celebrating what we had. Dance to our songs. Visit our places. Know that wherever I am, I'm still loving you. Until we meet again, my love. In this life or the next, you will always be my person, my home, my forever. Henry closed the journal, held it to his heart, and for the first time since losing her, he smiled. Mia was gone, but their love, that was eternal. This story reminds us that some love stories don't end with happily ever after. They end with love never dies. So tell me, have you ever experienced a love that changed you forever? What did this story teach you about cherishing the people you love while they're still here? If this story touched your heart, hit that like button, comment your thoughts, and subscribe for more emotional stories. Share this with someone who needs to hear it. Thank you for watching. Until next time, go love fiercely, live fully, and never ever take a single moment for granted.